For a button right there. Yes, sir.
Yep, it says recording. I'm over here. My feelings was hurt. my, my whole mood was hurt. I was like, yo, man, I want the day to end. This is a nightmare.
I said this shit's a nightmare.
Oh, I'm like, yo, I'm like, come on. I'm like, yo, I'm right there. My whole mood changed. I'm like a sad dog right now.
I got you, bro. I look dark as fuck.
I'm like, yo, this is how Tupac must have felt when he made Does Heaven Got a Ghetto? I'm like, come on, man. Good Lord. Oh man. Oh, but we got it going, man. What's going on?
I'm good, bro. Still trying to, daily grind. Put this shit.
Yeah, man.
Take this shit out. Dealing with these kids. Hold on. All right. Get this been set up. Right.
Yeah, I was trying to get the HP. I knew the HP was gonna be like, oh, you need to update us. We a couple years back.
You said we ain't fucking with y'all no more, right? You ready to get it together.
Exactly. I'm saying that, I'm like, all right, well, let me use the Apple. Apple's like, oh no, we don't do that. Don't bring that over here. I was like, oh. I'm like, yo, are you serious? I'm like, come on, man. Come on. Oh man.
So it's finally able to get out with you, man.
Yeah.
So I see you out there doing your thing, man. You got the motivation thing going?
Yeah. I got into it because I wanted to. I was just tired of losing, man. I'm just being honest. Like, I was just like, I look back now and I realized, like, why my mom, I got 3 other brothers, why my mom was always like, listen, I can't get them to get on track. It's too late for them. But you, oh, I'm going to get you. You gonna get this work. You gonna get this work. And it was just like, yo, I honestly, I was just tired. I watched my brothers go through it. I watched my friends go through it. Like, I was just sitting back and I was just saying to myself, like, yo, I dropped out of high school when I only had 36 credits. And people like, yo, man, why you didn't just keep going? It's just like, honestly, it's either that or I age out.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, I seen my friends, like, literally the first freshman year drop out of high school. And to this day, they don't got their GED.
Damn. I don't know, man. For me, man, I was raised in a single parent home. My mom was a single parent of 5 of us.
Right.
And yeah, man, we ain't got no choice, man. Resources were scarce. You got to work it out, man. See what it's gonna do, man. Raised in the toughest part of town, the usual with that kind of community. So I'm like, man, if I stay in this environment, I'm for sure gonna lose.
That's it. That's exactly. That's what made me get into the whole motivation and telling these kids, because these kids, I mean, they got no sense of direction. They think it's just music, get money, and do drugs. And it's just like, yo, when you hit that age where you like, yo, man, I ain't chasing no $400 pair of sneakers when I'm trying to get an apartment and pay this rent. I'm not, like, listen, you're already ahead of the race. Like, if you decide to go pull over and have a drink of water, or you just, I'm ahead of people, I'm good, I'm telling you, you're going to play catch up with these kids, with everybody else, not these kids, with everybody else. And that's what I've been doing, and I can honestly say now, that I feel comfortable saying I'm back on track, because I left a lot of stuff behind, but I also gained a lot of stuff that made me sit here with you. You know, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's sacrifices, no doubt, bro. So get the people a little bit about your story, man. What motivates you, man? What gets you going, man? What kind of mindset does it take for you to keep pushing the direction you're going?
It gets me. What really motivates me, honestly, it would have to be the steps that I took when I was on step one. That really gets me every morning when I get up in the morning and know that I'm not chasing money anymore. I'm chasing a lifestyle. I'm not chasing. Everybody was like, oh, I want the $1 million. I want the $1 million, but they're not willing to make the $1 million sacrifices. But me, I realized that, like, I'm chasing the lifestyle. I'm chasing the trips to DR and overseas and places and visiting all these places. I'm chasing the lifestyle to live financially freedom and have these things and do this things that they show us on TV.
Uh-huh.
Like, what motivates me, I see myself as I'm more motivated within. Then once I get motivated within, I start to be motivated on the outside. And I see a lot of people, they're like, well, I only got 3 pairs of pants left for the week, so I'll wash clothes when I'm on my last pair. Me, I'm like, oh, I got 3 pairs left. Let me go start washing clothes now. Like, I don't need something to force me. Now I gotta do it. And that's what motivates me, gets me up and say, yo, you know what? It's game time. Because you're not gonna get this day back. Just like this right here. You may not never get this back. As much as I wanted to quit, be like, oh, let's just reschedule, I'm done. I'm like, I already put myself in a losing position because I was ready to give up because we having technical problems. And it's like, this is what's gonna happen. Life is not gonna be easy, Lemar. You're not gonna always get what you want, but you'll get it if you work for it. Yeah, you gotta play around with the camera. You gotta play around with the settings. You gotta do all this stuff. Okay, but you here now.
Yeah. For me, I'm a little different because, like, I've been from the inner city. I've been to not really experiencing life and not having, the clothes, the environments or the resources of other people or other kids. I've been to that, and then to getting to a point where I've been outside of the country and I've been and experienced different life events where I would not thought of possible, because where we're from, it's like, you made it to 21, that's a success. You know what I mean? So, that's a little different dynamic. Close the door, please. Close the door, please. I need you to close the door, please. Thank you. So with that environment, I'm like, okay, now that I've kind of seen both sides of it, I'm at a point where the money ain't even the game. I don't even care. Like, the money, trips, cars, like, that don't really mean a lot to me. I'm more on some legacy shit.
Right.
Step away. I'm more on some legacy shit, bro. I need to be able to make impact. I need to be able to make my mark on this place. When I get to my deathbed, I want to be fucking exhausted. Like, I need to be able to say, like, okay, I did something. Like, you know what I'm saying? People see me on social media and they be like, man, you out there, you teaching classes, man. You doing your thing, man. I see you out there. I mean, you just started, you know what I'm saying, just doing fitness videos, man. Now look at you know what I'm saying, drone footage and shit, man. You out there. Right. Man, I'm like, man, I ain't did shit yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't did nothing yet. Like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? For somebody that's like outside looking in, or somebody that's not necessarily, I guess, at that point, and everybody's growth level is a little different. So,
right.
People are at different stages of their growth, either in life or with their success with entrepreneurship, whatever it is levels to it. But, the point where I'm at now that I got to this supposed level of success, I'm like, yeah, that ain't enough. That ain't it. That ain't it. And it ain't determined by the material value. Is determined by what kind of impact you were able to make on the people that follow you or the people that you network with. It should be some kind of added value there. So for me, I'm not even close to where I need to be, not even close to where I want to be, even though I feel like I'm at a point where I'm making a little success. But, bro, you got to understand the circles. The circles is different. So, I mean, if you're working at McDonald's and you dropping the fries, your level of success might be making it to assistant manager of McDonald's. That's progress. That's different levels. So, but when you get to assistant manager at McDonald's, meanwhile, the crew you started with, they're looking like, hey, you made it. Like, you doing it. But meanwhile, the owner of the corporate branch is like, bro, you need to be up here with us.
Right.
You in the wrong circle now. Like, you need to upgrade your circle. Because when you upgrade your circle, you have an understanding like, oh, damn, I ain't nowhere yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm constantly in situations where, you know, I have to upgrade my circle. And then when I do that, it's I'm understanding I got more growth to go. But if you stick with those circle of friends at that level, then you get comfortable. And then you're like, yeah, you know, yeah, I did do something. You know, I am doing all right. You know, I'm okay. And that's the wrong equation. Like the guys that I know and the guys and the people I'm in the circles with, bro, that won't work. Yeah, the moment you feel comfortable, you feel complacent, like, oh, okay, I can breathe now. You lost.
Right.
And that's an L. That's an L.
That's it right there. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. They like, you don't, we used to call, you used to text, or you used to do this and that. Listen, I don't live there no more. All right? Stop. Oh, you big time now. I see you on the Instagram and Facebook and all this stuff. You do? It's funny because I never see you like anything. I never see you comment or shit. But you see all that. And that's the thing where people see and they like, oh, I know Lemar. No, you don't know Lemar. You know of Lemar because I'm changing every day. So you know of me. You're like, oh, you wasn't. I had a girl that I went to junior high school with. She said, oh, you wasn't like this in junior high school. Girl, I'm 36 years old. What's wrong with you? What are you talking about? I wasn't like this in junior high school. I'm like, woman, I done got married, I done got kids, I done moved, if you don't get out of my face, it's crazy, man. And I think a lot of people are scared to take that step, go into that uncomfortable zone where they know that's where they need to go. But they like, oh, I don't want to change. I want to be this way. You know, I don't want people to look at me different.
Mm-hmm. People, there's a comfort level. You know, people want, you know, all of these things, all of this success and all of these material things. But they want to skip the part where, you know, the average overnight success is 10 years. So they want to skip the part of grinding day in and day out for 10 plus years and then maybe get to where you want to be. They want to just skip over to the luxury cars and skip over to, you know, doing good and, you know, people know who they are and all of that process.
Right.
Yeah, that's just not reality. And anybody that's kind of made it to that point will tell you, bro, you living in a fantasy world. It's just not how things work.
Right. And I see a lot of people. I changed my circle because I started realizing, like, okay, what is this person doing? Because I know what I'm doing. So if I'm communicating with a person that's really into the healthy side and like, hey man, you got to be healthy. You got to work. You out there speaking. You got to control your breathing. All right, I need to make sure, like, hey, I need to work with you. Or a person that has a camera and that's like, hey, I do video editing. I don't need to be hanging out with the person that want to talk about sports all day. That's watching sports, watching the highlights. Then after that, they watching the replays on the highlights. Yeah. I don't need to conversate.
Got to catch all of it.
Yeah, exactly. And you're sitting there and you're like, yo, I'm watching the Monday game, the Thursday game, the Sunday game, and then I'm watching the highlights, and then I'm going to bed.
See, here's the thing: people are not looking at things at a surgical standpoint. So you only have so much time in the day. I know a lot of people that are working traditional 9-to-5 jobs, careers, and they spend over half of their time at work, the other time dealing with kids, taking them to sports events and things like that. And then they might have an hour or so between picking up the kids and, straightening up the house a little bit. They might have an hour to themselves. And then they'll spend that hour to themselves watching the game or, something leisure. And, that's fine. That's fine if you're looking for the simple life. However, if you're actually looking to get to a point of high level of success, or you got these big aspirations of owning a business or whatever have it, that formula is not set up in your best interest. Because like it got to a point, bro, I don't give a shit what the house looked like. Like I got a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old, and they fucking up shit all day long. Like I know people I work with, and I know they spend their whole time outside of dealing with business, straightening up the house because they're surgical with making sure everything looks the part. Right. I'm to the point where like that is not even worth my time. I don't even have the time to sit there and worry about the front room and where they messed up something. I gotta fix it now 10 minutes later. Like that's eating up a lot of time that I can be planning my next move, planning my next strategy. Please step away. I told you not to put the water in here to begin with. Get this water out of here. So with that, people can ideally spend their entire day. Now, let's get on these different events or time-consuming communities people like to involve themselves, whether it's basketball, or they like collecting cars, or they are a sneakerhead, or whatever their thing is. The problem is these social communities eats up a lot of time. So I don't care what it is. There's a whole sub community to all of it. I don't care if it's being a cat person. There's a whole sub community of people that want to be a cat person. Then they want to only deal with these kind of cats and only deal with these kind of cats from Asia, these kind of cats from Australia, these kind of cats from Egypt. Like there's a whole sub community in whatever you think of that can eat up all of your time. So I made the conscious decision like, hey, is any of these sub communities paying me? No? Okay, then I can't really be consumed with these things because it's not getting me to where I need to be. So on one hand, you need an escape from the job that you don't necessarily care for. But on the other hand, fuck the escape, get to work on trying to get to where you want to be. So it's like really being surgical with where you want to be, where you're at, where you want to go, and then, okay, I want to be here, but I'm here. How do I get from A to B? Well, I don't know yet, but I know if I waste time with watching all these sports and being obsessed with social media comedian memes and shit, I know that's not going to get me there. So maybe I can invest into this course or this YouTube video. Let me spend some time there and figure out what they know that I can take to get me closer to where I want to be. I don't have a lot of money for a website. Maybe I can go to Wix.com and put one together real quick until I can get the money to put it online. Like it's really a situation where you got to create daily steps getting to where you want to be. It's not really like I wake up and then I'm 100 miles to the direction I want to be. It's really daily itty bitty baby steps of getting to where you want to be. And then you look back and be like, oh, wow, I made some progress.
Right. And I think that's what a lot of people want. People want it literally. They want the website. Oh, I got to be up and running. It got to look like Macy's.com. And my video is going to have a million views. And I got to have over a million likes. And I got to have all this stuff. And nobody wants that process. Everybody wants to give it to them. And it's like, yo, there's a process. I remember I was geeked when I got 10 views on YouTube. I remember when I was like, I put a video out and I was so scared because I was like, I don't want to show my face because I'm fat. I'm like, oh no, because I don't know if they're gonna like it. And I literally was just talking to somebody. Somebody's like, man, just put it out. People don't care. They want the content. And I put it out. And the first day I'm like, oh man, I got 50 views. And now I'm like, wow, he's right. And they come around, you know, towards the end of this year, I'm like, yo, man, I don't even look at the views. Because I'm so focused on the next thing. I'm so focused on getting what's next for me. I don't have time to be like, hey man, you know what? Let me sit here and scoreboard watch for this whole time, and hopefully, you know, this is gonna take off. No, you gotta work. And there's some things that, you know what, I don't have the money for the stuff that you see on TV and social media. But there's some free stuff that you can work with just to start. Now, get yourself started. You wait in there and you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna wait till I get this money that's gonna knock on my door. You know, everybody got that imaginary money that's gonna fall in their lap. You know, when I get that $1 million, and then that's when I'm gonna start. And you let your year go. You let your years go by you because you so create the opportunity.
Facts, all facts. Because yeah, and people want it to look a certain way, and which is also gets into the point where a lot of people get into the point where they're doing more studying than actually doing. There's a whole billion-dollar industry based around motivation, based around books and seminars and self-help things, and gurus is talking this and gurus is talking that. But at the end of that, there's no fucking action. There's just no doing anything. Yeah, you spend 3 days reading this fascinating Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay, now what?
Yep.
Now what?
Right.
Doing nothing. You put it on a shelf, and you go back to your 9 to 5, and you go back into your everyday schedule, and you look up a month later saying, I think I was supposed to do something. It would be, if things work out, I would get that restaurant I wanted to open. If things work out, I would, get that new promotion I wanted. Matter of fact, I was talking to a guy the other day. He wanted to start a podcast. I was like, all right, bro, man, they make that stuff pretty simple these days. A lot of it like Anchor app, you can do it right from the phone, set up the podcast, and you good to go, bro. It's free, bro. Like, you ain't got to get the bells and whistles, the big mic and studio and all of that, bro. You can just start simple, get it going, and get working that way. And I even gave him all the resources. I gave him the links. I gave him the information. I'm like, bro, if you're serious about this, just start. Just, see if you like it. Talk to him like a month later. I was like, bro, how's the podcast going? Yeah, man, I haven't got to it. I was thinking about it. I just wanted to kind of look at some more stuff and kind of see, bro, what the fuck is that? Like, you're not gonna get anything done that way, bro. Like, I'm all about action now, bro. Like, a chick hit me up yesterday, like, hey, how much you charge for a meeting? I was like, I do first meetings for free, like consultations for free. I want to add value to the people I'm talking to. And she was just like, oh, can you meet tomorrow? Check my schedule. Yep. Where you at? Real time. Meanwhile, when I had a meeting with her earlier today, she was just like, oh, you're like the under 1% of people that page look like yours and doing stuff is kind of up there and like that can actually meet with me. And she's like, I DM'd this other guy and he didn't even respond. And then another person was like, oh yeah, that's $500 just to have a little meeting with me. And I got to talk to the secretary. I got to talk to this person. And I was like, yeah, that's not me. That's not me because like, I want to be accessible as possible because I want to build with the community that I'm doing. So for my side, I'm spending a lot of time, resources in being accessible to people when other people in a similar status are not. But that's my edge because that's part of my marketing strategy where I can give back and add value and be real time, because I know when I first started trying to figure out what I know now, nobody was giving love. Nobody was showing love back. You know, you interact with people, you leave 10 comments, you like damn near a whole profile, nothing, bro. And I'm like, bro, that sucks. So I'm like, that's not my thing. So I want to give back, but I waste a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of resources, and being able to do that. But I can't do that just waiting for things to happen.
Right. And you know, that's it, you bring up a good point, because I remember in the beginning of the year, I reached out to a lot of people to just get some tips and advice and some direction. And they all was like, yo, I want to help you join my class, or you know, I got this $99 thing, and I just got some questions, and I just want to know, hey, you know, I'm trying to do this and do this. What do you think? I see that you got a great thing going on. You know, I'm not trying to copy. I just want to get some tips and advice, and you know, I will join if it's the right thing. But they like, oh nah, I can't. You know, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, and you know, like I don't got time to be talking. I'm like, okay. All right, and then come around months later, I'm like, shoot, I'm doing better than a lot of them.
Well, here's the thing. Let me show you how it works on my side by not worrying about the money up front. Okay. You remember that a video? I think one of the first video I would start teaching to like a lot of the realtors and stuff. I think I came out the elevator with like a suit on or something, and I was like talking to cats and all this stuff, speaking. Right? You know, 3 weeks before that speech, they didn't even know who the fuck I was.
Serious?
They didn't have a fucking clue who I was. Now, mind you, I still do no traditional advertising, no website, no business cards, no flyers. My phone number's not listed. Like, no traditional advertising. Everything is word of mouth and network only. So how that even got set up, right? Before that video, I did a video with a lawyer. Now, that lawyer still is not a client. I met him through a mutual acquaintance, and he was just like, hey, man, you know what I mean? I was told to talk to you. You're the good guy to know about marketing. I'm opening up my law firm, so let's rap about, you know, kind of how the strategy can go. So I was like, all right, cool. I see on his page, he's kind of gearing up to be more serious with his content. I was like, listen, how about I get my videographer to come down, and we get some social media content while we rap about everything, and we can talk about a little bit of entrepreneur journey and all of that, and get some good content out of it. No cost to you. I'll pay the videographer. I'll pay the photographer. No problem. Just good to go. He was like, all right, cool. So we did that video. Video turned out dope. He put it on his page. I put it on mine. 70 of his followers came to follow me. One of those 70 people ended up being in sports management. He was like, hey, bro, I see what you're doing. Let's set up a meeting. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Another free meeting. No cost. No, I'm still not a client. I haven't made any money at this point with what I've done. I was like, all right, cool. We set up a meeting, good talk or whatever, cool brother. He was like, hey man, I know this woman, she coordinates this real estate event, and you know, you seem like you know what you're talking about. Give her a call, and maybe you can do something over there with them. I was like, all right, cool. I call her up. She was just like, you know what? You know, we've already kind of used up the budget we have for the event. However, if you want to come pro bono and, you know, kind of speak to the people and whatever, then, you know, you can do that if you want. And I was like, fuck it, I'll take it. I don't give a fuck. You're gonna open up a new avenue of people that didn't even know who the fuck I was. Fuck it, I'll take it. Still no cost, no money made on my side. When I went down for the event to do that video, I paid my videographer and photographer to come down again, shoot the event, coordinate the event. I'm speaking on a panel, bro. I'm speaking on a panel with the director of marketing with this real estate company, a national speaker, and then you have the Instagram guy sitting there, no business cards, no flyers, taking over the whole room. It's just adding value and waiting it out, and it's really a game of chess of getting into the network. Now, when I did that event, right before I sat down, she was just like, listen, we got this other event next month, and I think you'll be good for that too. I'm like, I take it. So now I become more ingrained into that community. I become more of the go-to person and authority in that space. And now when they go looking for services, they don't have to go on Yelp reviews and stuff like that. They've already got the guy that's doing all these courses, because every time I do a workshop with the realtors or something like that, it's nothing but good reviews, because it's already information that they can use and the insight that they have. So now it's like, oh, we get reviews every time he comes into the room. He knows what he's talking about. Okay, so we want to try you out and have you do our services. It's just not even a matter of if you can do the job. It's a matter of what's your rate.
Right. Right. And I think that's a lot of people need to get that through their mind. Like, you don't need to have all this fancy stuff. If you already have the value, you that's all you need. You don't need, oh, I gotta get business cards tomorrow. I gotta get a website going. I gotta get posters. I gotta get a street team. My man, all that you're doing too much right now. You ain't even got a video out. You ain't even start the first page of your book.
Well, they're doing too much, and then they're doing the old school way. You know, flyers, business cards. Man, bro, who really holds on to that? Nobody.
I got
a website. What's that? What is that? I think I seen that in the history book. You said a website? Come on, bro. They go to social media first. If they like what you're saying and they want more information, they might go to your website. So if you ain't on social media as the first point of contact with figuring out more awareness of who you are and your brand, bro, if you just relying on SEOs and website clicks, forget about it. What are you doing?
Exactly. The only card that I keep in my wallet is those reward cards where you buy 7 coffees, get the 8th one free. Don't give me no business card. Yo, Lemar, take my business card, because man, listen, let me tell you something. You might as well just give me your phone number.
What?
I'm never gonna look at it.
And that's interesting that you say that, because here's the thing. When I first started going down this avenue, I knew I needed to upgrade my network. You know, because they say you are who you hang with. Your network is your net worth, all of that. So I'm like, okay, cats I'm hanging with right now, I know they ain't going to get me close to where I want to be at all. All they're concerned about is now. And I'm like, okay, how do I upgrade my circle? And I'm like, okay, I went to start going to these business mixers. And, you put your little business card in the bowl, and, you get used car salesmen and insurance agents and all these different other people that are just trying to pitch you stuff, not really trying to actually build a community or get in the right network. And I looked around after going to about 5 or 6 of those, and I was like, you know what? I can't win with these group of people, man. This is not the right crowd for me to level up. So I'm like, man, where is the real solid business people that are killing it in their lane that I can work with and build together with? Like, where are these cats? And it wasn't until social media that I was able to reach out and connect with those people to get in the network, bro. Because I noticed the higher circles you navigate in, that people are kind of doing well for themselves in their own particular craft. They're network people. They don't really deal outside of their network. So if you're not the go-to person in their network, they don't even know who you are, bro. Like, you run up on some of these people that are doing well for themselves with a business card, they're gonna be like, what is this?
Oh, this is cute. Oh, this is still making
what is this? Because these people got the money to pay for whatever services they want. The go-to person in any particular niche, they got the money. So it's like, what is this business card? Like, I'm sorry, do somebody in my network know you? Or you got some credentials around here? Versus people like myself, like the CEO come over here like, hey, Marcus, I got somebody for you to meet. Oh, okay. Oh, Ken, how you doing? Yeah. So this is Marcus. He works for our social media. You should talk to him. I'm gonna step out and grab a drink. I'm gonna let you guys talk. That's how the intros go.
Right.
That's a whole different platform than me coming up with a business card talking about, hey, in case you need services one day, check me out. Go to my website. Like, nah, that's a wrong equation to be on.
And that's what people got to understand. If you are good enough and you believe in what you're doing, honestly, they're gonna find you. You don't need to make all that fancy business cards, you know, because that's like a cassette tape or CD.
Like,
remember those? Like, you don't need all that. Like, people will hold back their self because they don't have, oh, well, I see this person got a website and they doing good. You don't know all the stuff they had to do to get there.
Bro, it's a lot. It's a lot. Even myself, like, I've been challenged at different levels, and I was just like, oh, wow. Okay. Like, I think one of the biggest things for me is like coming off of the whole dealing with the family passing and all of that, and then jumping back into meetings and, you know, dealing with kids, and, you know, I'm still speaking at real estate events, and like that whole dynamic. You still trying to get yourself together, but I mean, you're making all this progress with these right connections and stuff like that. I know the thing with the network and the connect game is that sometimes you don't get those opportunities back. Meeting the right people at the right time, the right situation. Because, like, when I met with the lawyer and I met with the person that knew the lawyer, it just so happened with the timing that they were looking for somebody that knows about marketing to do that real estate event.
Right.
If I would have skipped that opportunity is now gone.
And you'll never get that again.
You'll never get that back. And then everything after that would have happened would be different as well.
Right.
So I knew at that point, even dealing with all of these different family situations, that I still have to show up. I still have to continue grinding through all of this I'm doing, because it's necessary. And not only that, my audience respects it more for them. Actually, the girl I met today, it was interesting because she had said that same thing. She's like, I've been following you for a while, and when you did the post about your family passing, and then you chose going to the funeral and, you know, going and traveling to see family members and all that, and then jump back into, you know, talking to realtors and speeches and stuff like that, it just, like, wow, like, you're actually going through a lot. So your social media, if used correctly, can give a lot more insight and a lot more respect to what you're doing by people seeing the background of what everything is involved.
Right. Hold on one second. Let me get some light in here. Hold on one second.
All right.
Yeah, I'm back. No, like I feel the same way. I saw you. I was like, man, I know you going through a lot. And then I seen, you know, a couple weeks after, I seen you just like, okay, I got to keep going. I can't be stagnant. I can't stay here and dry. I seen you just like moving, and I was like, wow, that should motivate someone if they know your situation. Because I know myself, when I saw it, I said, if it ever comes to a situation in my life where I got to deal with something like this, I could go back and say, it is possible for someone to move, to keep moving. Because I watched it already. And I know she's saying the same thing.
She said the same thing, and she was just like, she was kind of amazed that, like, I kept going through it, even though all of that situation is like, and like I told her, I was like, I got two choices when I run into a situation like that. And I thought about both. And the choice was either A, you let this situation shut you down and you fold, or you power through and let it be more motivation going forward with whatever you're doing. So now everything you're doing adds more value and more determination, because now it feels like, to me, like I already felt with this that Like for me to be able to be speaking to people when people come to me talking about, hey, I got questions about this. Yeah, you're like Marcus at work. You're like the go-to guy for this. When people come to me like that and spot me on the street with stuff like that, I'm like, I feel like that ain't even supposed to be happening to me, bro. Like I'm the regular guy. That ain't even supposed to be happening. For me to have that kind of reach or impact, like you got to understand, bro. That used to be only reserved for like real famous people, like people on TV, on billboards, like people like real, like out there, and like what I'm saying, they got like all this money and notoriety, and all the TV shows. That used to be only for them. So for an average guy like myself to get that kind of recognition, I'm like, bro, they'll never get this back.
Right.
Ever.
I knew I was big time when I went to McDonald's with my kids and someone noticed me. It was like, yo, man, the food's free. That's it. I'm big time now. I said, I'm not supposed to live this type of life. I'm like, okay.
That's crazy.
But it shows you a lot of people want the million views and all this stuff, but it really does it does factor what they say. All you need is one view or one like, because that person really like, yo, you're changing my life.
Yeah, I mean, I've managed accounts where people have thousands of likes, hundreds and thousands of followers. I can tell you from the inside out, followers in the number game don't really mean shit.
Right. I learned that. Yep.
Doesn't. Because I know people's with hundreds of thousands of followers. I mean, it was just it was a news article. I think like a little under a year ago, maybe like 6 months ago, and some influencer got hired to sell some T-shirts, and she had like some millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views, followers or something on IG, and she couldn't sell fucking 10 T-shirts.
Unbelievable.
Because the numbers don't mean nothing, bro. Like,
don't.
It's not about who follow. It's not about how many followers you have. It's about who follows you. Who?
Right.
Who are the people that follow you? You can have a bunch of followers with a comedy meme page, right? And you're like, oh, okay, I got 1 million followers on a meme page. Okay, how you make money out of that? Oh, well, I can do ads and stuff for other people. Okay, that's cool. But how does that help you? That's not a brand for yourself. You can't leverage that into whatever else you decide to do in business and in life. You just got a bunch of randoms on there liking stuff because it's funny. Now what? You can't leverage that. People are setting up social media profiles in a direction that they can't leverage in the future. Right. So you got to look at whatever your end goal is going to be and figure out, is your page set up in order for you to get the end goal that you're looking for. So if I'm trying to sell insurance, I don't want to make a social media page about fucking kites. Like, what is it? That don't
it don't add up.
It don't add up. My battery about to die on this laptop. Hold on, let me stop this, make sure this shit record.
Yeah, it's recorded.
Okay. That was the wrong button.